You're watching the award-winning GHS TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello and welcome to Medical Talk. I'm your host, Betty LaMarr. Today we're talking about type 1 diabetes. Joining me is Janet Butler-Curtis, Diabetes Management Program Director and the Administrative Director for the Sugar Run 5K Benefiting Fund a Cure for Type 1 Diabetes. Hi Janet, welcome to Medical Talk.
Hi, Betty. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm so happy to speak with you. You know, right now we're dealing with this COVID pandemic, and we know that diabetes is, you know, people living with diabetes rather have a high risk of contracting or just having, I guess you would say, adverse complications with diabetes. Tell us a little bit about what you do at AM Diabetes and the wonderful things I hear about AM Diabetes as far as what you all are doing to keep everyone healthy.
Well, one of my positions is as one of the managers here at AM Diabetes. The other things I do, I work with community programs such as the Yellow Dot. I also do things such as the protocol for the clinic. We just have a lot going on here. I have my hands in all kinds of projects. Of course, the Sugar Run is a big part of what we do and a big passion. So what we've been doing lately and implemented to protect our patients and the people in the community is that we will actually have everyone wear masks prior to coming into the clinic. We only are allowing the patients at this time to come into the clinic. So I know a lot of times people want to have someone come with them, but what we're asking them to do now is to FaceTime on their telephone so they can actually be on the call with them in the appointment and feel like they can ask questions and know what's going on. When they enter the clinic, of course, we've got the plexiglass that we've implemented. We've also are taking temperatures upon entrance. So we actually had some people before that have had fever, so they don't realize it. We want to protect people here. So it's not only to protect our other patients, but it's to protect our staff as well. We also, with our patients, want to just keep them protected all the way around. So suggestions on ways to do that as well. Now, as far as contracting COVID, they're as susceptible as anyone else. However, if their blood sugar is out of control, they're going to have much worse adverse reactions.
Okay. What other, everybody always described that as a diabetes center, I guess comprehensive, like a clinic within a clinic. Can you just tell us about just some of the clinics within the clinic at the center?
Absolutely. We pride ourselves on our motto, which is comprehensive endocrine care solutions, personalized care. So we have an EKG on site. We have retinal exams while they're here. We have lab that is also on site. We have a nutritional therapy program. We have an ADA recognized program as well. And it is very difficult to get that certification. So that is an 8-hour education class on diabetes. Now, one thing that's very important to know about that is the people that do come to that class are going to have about a 1% reduction in their A1C. Oh. Just alone for coming to that one class. So it teaches them how to eat right, how to count their carbohydrates, and ways to make a difference in that aspect. We do have a follow-up with that as well. We also have, we have a gym here at the office, and it's a wonderful place. Look it up, it's AM 360. So that's why we're comprehensive. We take care of the physical exercise as well. We also have the insulin pump center, which I just started to mention.
Yes.
So the insulin pump center is the first in the nation. We found also by tracking this for over 6 years that by having the one location for anyone who wears an insulin pump can come into the center at any time, have their numbers downloaded and checked, and changes be made at any time. There's not a fee to do that, an additional fee. So that alone has brought their A1C down another 0.8, and that has maintained over 6 years by having that opportunity here.
Okay, I'm going to step back a minute. You mentioned that you all have a fitness center there. Is it specialized for people with diabetes?
We meet all needs, so it can be from the beginner all the way to people who want to do boot camp. So we even have personal coaches here. We have a weight room. We have classes that are available. I go to the Tuesday night classes, and it is available. I can dump it down for me. It's available for any person at any level. So there are a variety of classes. We're open 7 days a week.
Okay.
And there are different opportunities.
Okay.
Now, for the diabetic, we will check their sugar prior to exercising and after exercising as well. We're not going to set them loose on a piece of equipment.
That is so good. You know, you all have a reputation for being that first in the nation, like on the leading edge in diabetes care. We'll be right back with more medical talk with my very special guest, Janet Curtis. Janet will explain some of the hurdles that many parents face every day living with a child diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at a very young age.
GHS TV started in 1982, and it was just a couple of cameras, a couple of on-air personality, and it's really grown into what you see today. It's a multi-million-dollar studio with top-of-the-line technology.
Being able to operate, all of the machinery in the control room, being able to use all of our software and hardware that we have around the studio is a great skill because this is top-of-the-line equipment.
I feel like this class has brightened my horizon. It's something that I never thought I would be doing, especially as a student.
GHS TV is probably one of the most hands-on experiences a student will ever get in their lifetime.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. Nothing really has just the vibe that we have here.
Especially after you finished, you get a real rush of, wow, I just did that.
By the time a student graduates from Germantown High School, they will know pretty much every position there is, from producing to directing to on-air work.
You learn time management, you learn organization, you learn how to work with people, how to better communicate with people.
We put a lot on them, and they have to be able to have the responsibility and the knowledge to get everything that we ask them.
I had very little experience, so in the past 3 years, the skills that I've learned have absolutely exponentially grown.
The class has actually helped me figure out that I want to go to college for journalism.
When a student graduates, they are the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching Medical Talk on GHS TV. Joining me today is Janet Butler-Curtis, and we're talking about living with a child diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. As many of you know, T1D to date does not have a cure. Janet, now I want you to take me back to the moment that you knew that something was going on with your daughter, and what was her age when all this started happening for you?
Katrina was 1 month into her 11th year. It was a Sunday, and we were getting ready for church. She was laying on the couch, very lethargic. We got in the car, we drove there. She got out of the car and was sick in the parking lot.
Oh.
So I took her home immediately, and she seemed to be okay. 3 times, 4 days apart each time, she was getting sick. School started during that week. She started school. She got sick on the school bus. I was called to bring clothes to her. She just said, it's a bumpy bus. I'm not used to it. And I just knew something was off.
Okay.
And I knew that there were some differences in, she was drinking a little more. She was going to the bathroom a little more. She had lost weight. And for a child that age, she had lost over 15 pounds.
Ooh.
So she was eating healthier, so I could explain everything away. She was drinking more water, so of course she'd use the restroom more.
Right.
She was eating healthy, she was going to lose weight. But when I tied it all together, I had the suspicion that it could be diabetes. I called her doctor, made an appointment, picked her up. We went to the doctor. A couple of days later, I got a phone call from the office, and they said, Ms. Curtis, I think we're looking at diabetes. You need to come pick up a paper that I have here. Take your daughter to the nearest emergency room. She needs IV fluids and insulin. So I quickly got in my car, drove to the school, contacted the school because it was right at time for them to release, and I wasn't allowed to come get them at that point. The entire time driving her to LaMarr, I kept looking in the rearview mirror of the car to make sure she was okay.
Oh, wow.
Because the envelope I picked up was sealed, but it said panic alert on the front. So I got to the emergency room. They were alerted we were coming. They just grabbed her and took her back without anything. So our lives changed that day. We have a new normal and a wonderful child.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What was a night like living with a child with diabetes? Because obviously that's a child. So they're not going to wake up all night thinking about checking sugar. So how much sleep did you get during that time?
I never had more than 2.5 hours sleep at a time. So I would wake up. Well, first, let me just start. I would put her to bed. We'd check her blood sugar. If her sugar was too high and she needed insulin, I would have to continue to check it. If her sugar was too low, we would treat it with a juice box, wait 15 minutes, maybe give her peanut butter crackers, wait 15 minutes, recheck again, maybe give her a few Skittles. And this process would continue until she was where she needed to be. I woke up every single night at 3 o'clock with an alarm to check her blood sugar. And I was fortunate that I could just stay home and sleep in the afternoons and allow her to go to school and function. It's just, it's hard, but you got to do what you have to do for your children. And it's the best thing to do for them.
Okay, well, Janet, I'm so happy that you're sharing your journey with us because for some reason, it's like society, unless you're dealing with the diabetes, doesn't look at diabetes as serious as they do some other diseases like cancer. I tell people sometimes, I have 2 sisters, one passed away with cancer, breast cancer, and one was diagnosed since. And they go through remission. They have their good fortune to, for years, go through remission. Or maybe they can get the biopsy, do a little surgery, and they're lucky get it out. But it's not like that with type 1 diabetes, right? It's
Absolutely
you
not.
don't have a remission.
So, no, you don't. And let me just start with, there's a difference between what people think is diabetes, which is typically type 2 diabetes. That is somebody who typically has a sedentary lifestyle. Maybe their diet isn't that great. They're overweight. But with type 1, it just starts, and there is no known reason at this time. The pancreas cells, the beta cells are just attacked, and it just no longer functions. Now, most of the cases are diagnosed as children, but there are some adults that are diagnosed more every day. I'll let you know a current statistic in the Memphis area is that there has been a 30% increase since last year at this time, August. So it's huge. For a while, right before COVID started, we were having one diagnosis per day here in the Memphis area. Now, this is a disease that I always tell people my daughter can eat carrots all day long and exercise 24 hours a day, and she will die from a high blood sugar.
Wow.
The only way to treat it is with insulin, either by an insulin pump with continuous injection or by multiple injections of insulin per day.
Okay, well, before we leave this segment, because we have something really exciting to talk about that people can actually support finding that research cure. Tell us now what your daughter, how old is your daughter now, and how well she's living with diabetes, because that's the real thing. Even though it's devastating, if you manage it, you can live well with it. Tell us we're going to end this segment with your daughter and what she's doing now.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yes.
Katrina is 23 years old now.
Okay.
She graduated Ole Miss and with a public policy leadership degree. She has gone on to William & Mary, and she's in her second year of law school. And as a proud mom, I'll just let you know, she got a 96% scholarship. So she has really thrived. She's done well. I think the diabetes also creates a sense of just the importance of looking at everything and the responsibility at a young age.
Okay, hold that thought for me, because we're going to come back and talk about some excitement. We'll be right back shortly to share some exciting news about the upcoming virtual Sugar Run charity fundraiser. And it is to fund a research cure for type 1 diabetes. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. You don't want to miss this.
We have 4 major vocal ensembles at Germantown High School. There's a large chorale with about 50 to 60 students, a women's chorus, our chamber choir, which is an elite ensemble of 18 singers, and a contemporary a cappella group, which is about 16 singers.
It's really nice to be in a room full of people who share your passion and who want to learn and make every song as beautiful as it possibly can be.
I really try to instill in my students the importance of connecting with the literature, that they have to go outside of the box and actually understand what they're singing about. Thank you.
This program has really pushed me. It's shown me a lot of my insecurities and how to grow past those.
Many times we'll gather around the piano to build that sense of camaraderie, to be able to hear each other better, to interact with each other and make music together.
Work together, hold that solid. Go.
Then we genuinely love music. We sing because we want to and not because our Mr. Hayner's telling us.
2 beats, you come in. 1 and 2. Music empowers us to come together as a group. I feel like this generation has become so focused on me. And music is us, 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 us.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back. You're watching Medical Talk, and I'm your host, Betty LaMarr. Now, the exciting news is that on November 14th, World Diabetes Day, there is a virtual 5K run that you can sign up to support to find that research cure for type 1 diabetes. Janet, let's talk about the Sugar Run 5K. What's going on this year? I know it's virtual thanks to COVID-19.
Yeah. Well, it's the 14th annual Sugar Run to start off with. began to raise money to find a cure for research through Fund a Cure at JDRF. So to date, we have raised over $250,000. Very exciting news.
Yes.
And so you can go online and register. You can find a link at Sugar Run 5K. You can look for 2020 Sugar Run 5K at Race Roster.
Okay.
And just click that link, start a team, just register as yourself. What's really interesting is you go on, you sign up, you will be mailed a Sugar Run shirt.
Wow.
You're going to be mailed. Isn't that neat?
Yes.
Isn't that pretty? It'll be a little darker blue this year, but it's a really great long sleeve
small
tech shirt. So
you have one
any size you need.
Okay.
Because you're going to sign up for what size you want.
Okay.
So you're also going to get a Sugar Run medal.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going to show you this. Yeah, look at this, the little Sugar Run sugar cube.
Unbelievable. That is
Isn't that fun?
That's one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
That's too cool.
It is. It's great.
So everybody get that, kids as well?
Kids get it too. So they get the shirt and they get the medal. It will be mailed to your home address or whatever address you register under.
Okay.
That keeps the social distancing.
Yes.
And you can walk, you can run, you can crawl 5K.
Sit
if
on
you
the
want to do it
sofa.
over a week time, sit on the sofa and have some ice cream.
Yeah, watch it Facebook Live. Okay, all right.
That's right. That portion of that money goes to research.
Okay.
So you can donate that way. You can make an additional donation. If you start a team, invite your family and friends to join you. Just take a walk with your family in the park.
Yes.
So it's a great way to raise funds. It's a fun way you're exercising. And you get a really cool shirt you get to wear around. And you got a medal you can hang on your neck.
Oh, I love it. And let's talk really quickly here about how this got started with Dr. Lateef in the first place.
So Dr. Lateef has a son that is a type 1 diabetic as well. And Ami was diagnosed at 11 months old. And I can't imagine having a child even that age. Yeah, because they can't communicate. So you're constantly checking the blood sugar. You're constantly getting injections. And a child, I guess you grow up that way. You don't really know the difference. But I know as a mother, when I first had to give my daughter a shot, I had the needle and I kept pulling back.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, "Mom, you have to do this."
Okay.
And I knew I had to so she could live. But anyway, so he had a child even younger than my child. I did not want to be a nurse. I did not go into the medical field. So this was all new for me and something I had to learn to do.
Okay.
But so that's where his passion came from as far as endocrinology and why he wants so desperately to find a cure.
Yes.
So the money that we donate goes and that we raise through the Sugar Run is 100% donated to research.
Okay.
So it's so critical.
So tell me.
We appreciate everybody's help.
I definitely don't want to forget this. Tell me about the check that you are presented to JDRF just recently.
We did. They had their gala. It was a virtual gala this year.
Oh.
And every year we present a check to JDRF, to their Fund a Cure program. This year, the check surpassed any year previous, and we were able to donate $50,000 to JDRF.
Oh, that is so nice. And that was, of course, pre-COVID, so everybody was out in Johnson Park, including myself, and eventually I'm going to do that 5K, but in the meantime, I'm on the sidelines, right? I'm just,
That's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to look cute in case the camera catches a shot of me at the 5K race. But I just think it's very important, and for your information, I did set up a team. I guess you would call it team captain, and I do encourage all of my friends as well to, like you said, start a team, sign up on a team, because all of that, especially with the virtual is not like really getting out in the park and running with everybody. That's a whole different dynamic. But we cannot let COVID-19 just completely, because diabetes is going to be here regardless. Okay.
It's 24/7. There are no vacations, no holidays, you know.
Nothing.
If my daughter could have a day off, I would do anything for that, but she can't.
Okay, well, also, I didn't ask you this because you mentioned insulin pump center. Is she on any kind of device now where she don't have to just stick all day?
She is, and that's where a lot of the research money goes to. That's JDRF's research started the first insulin pumps. So she wears an insulin pump, and it's also a continuous glucose sensor. They communicate to each other. Now they'll shut off if her blood sugar gets too low. And it's just amazing what technology has done just in the last 11 years.
Well, let me ask you this as a mother. You know, I would like to take it home. Is there ever a time, even though she's an adult now, that you're not thinking about her diabetes, even though she's an adult and you're her mother? Do you ever, you know, because I've seen some grown-ups, their mothers is like helicopters, as we say. Do you ever forget about it?
It's always kind of in the back of your mind.
Okay.
She was extremely responsible and takes care of herself. But I will tell you that we have lost 2 of her close friends to type 1 diabetes. When she was 13, one of her friends from diabetes camp passed away.
Oh.
She went into a coma during the night when her blood sugar dropped and never recovered. 2 years ago, she's lost another friend, and he was a year older than her, and he fell asleep and again went into a coma. So it's definitely something you think about. God's given her to me as a gift.
Yes.
And we appreciate every moment we
have. And it
put
you in the position that you're in now. Thank you so much, Janet. I really do appreciate you. And remember, everybody, hashtag SugarRun5K. Hashtag SugarRun5K. If you go hashtag SugarRun5K, you're going to get all the information that you need. Again, we would like to say thanks for watching Medical Talk with Betty LaMarr on GHS TV. We're excited to announce that you can now enjoy Medical Talk on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. on Comcast Channel 17. For more information about our programming, please check us out on the web at ghstv.org, where we are streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Betty LaMarr. From all of us at GHS TV, thank you for watching Medical Talk. I hope to see you again soon.